Oh yes, of course. Extra effort separates a winner from second place. It starts with complete command of the fundamentals. For us here, we take it a notch higher with a passion, bringing you all the updates on major headlines on TVC Breakfast Saturday. My name is Mark, and of course, I'm flanked by Adetoro Daniel. Good to have you on the show.
Super excited to be here.
I can understand the rain was quite heavy for you.
You can trust Lagos is quite rough.
Fantastic. Of course, I got my very fantastic lady friend here too, who is also a very fantastic sports analyst. It's been a while. And she's a very die-hard Madrid fan. Oluwase Ali, what's good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good to be here.
Now, you had to don the jersey.
Yes.
You got the celebration is supposed to be over by now.
No, because it's already happening.
But I even hear that you guys are declining to play at the Club World Cup because the money that you're supposed to get there is what you make in a match. According to
No, but we're already talking about it. Definitely we'll play.
Okay, good. All right, let's go on to the first story. Now, in a compelling story of resilience, Carlos Alcaraz wins the French Open as world number 3 prevails after a 4-hour grueling marathon final over Alexander Zverev to win third Grand Slam of his career. The brilliant 21-year-old beat Alexander Zverev in 5 pulsating sets, 6-2, 6-3, 2-6, 5-7, 6-1, 6-2. Now, let's dwell on that a bit. Now, Shay, I understand that we are in an era now where the likes of Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, for the first time in a long time, did not appear on a French Open tournament. And from what you saw in the tournament so far with Carlos Alcaraz, where do you think he's going with this domination that he's putting up? I
think basically now he has become a pro in it.
Okay.
And then he has given all his best in this in this thing. So, but I feel that he's going to do better and do more, and then he will outride all these people over them. Okay,
now from the look of things, Zverev, quite experienced. Nobody ever saw that defeat coming. I actually rooted for Carlos, though, but even though some experienced tennis watchers did say that Zverev had an edge, that there's a possibility that he could get to a breakup tie or something, but we didn't see any of that.
Yes, sometimes it happens. That's tennis for you.
Now, Adetoro Daniel, I know you've been following too as well. Now, what do you make of this victory with Carlos Alcaraz?
Let's be honest. If you say you didn't see it coming, trust me, I'll be shocked, because this guy is more or less like the Kylian Mbappe as far as the world of tennis is concerned. It's not just about the tennis. It's about the way he carries himself, yeah, and the kind of brilliance he exhibits on the tennis court. Yeah. To me, I feel after Novak Djokovic, yeah, in terms of the technicality of the game, yeah, this guy comes into the picture for, yeah, me. And this is not the first time he's been able to do this. We saw what he did at Wimbledon in 2023. We saw what he did at the US Open in 2022. Yeah. So that consistency, yeah, is what has helped them. And let me say this. The French media has helped matters. The English media has not been fair. The English media, there's a way they pressurize their players, and over time, instead of bringing out the best in them, they just have a way of putting them under pressure. The likes, yeah, of Maradicanu, the likes of, I can give you names of players who have been under pressure, and over time they get injured and they can't get back to that level of consistency. But you mentioned Carlos Alcaraz, you mentioned Iga Swiatek. These are guys who understand the nitty-gritty of the game and has been able to ensure that, listen, it's not just about putting yourself out there, it's about winning the games. Yes. And they've done that brilliantly. So to me, this is fantastic.
Polish world number 1 Iga Swiatek thrashed Jasmine Paolini 6-2, 6-1 in a brutal demolition to secure her 3rd straight French Open title. Her next stop is Wimbledon next month. Now, for Iga, I can understand that she is quite prolific with her play, and what I saw was outright domination, and in fact, Paolini didn't stand a chance. But you know what? The media is already saying her next stop is Wimbledon, meaning she might have to go win that one as well.
Listen, I feel Iga Swiatek is the biggest feature in the game right now.
Yeah. I was actually rooting for Coco as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coco for me.
Let's be honest. I'm one of those who feel Coco Gauff, yeah, Naomi Osaka. Yeah. There's another name I'm trying to wrap around in my head. I don't want to mention Emma Raducanu. No. There's another name. I don't know why it's escaping my mind. He's quite a young chap. Yeah. Well, you know, they are more or less the big guns in the game. But yeah, there's this slight edge Iga Swiatek has. And let me say this: it's what will sustain you over time. Okay. And I think this is a lady who who's going to stick around for a long while.
All right, stick around for a long while. Let's get on to the next story. There is absolutely no more time to waste for a prolific puncher at the peak of his powers as Gervonta Davis will go glove to glove this weekend with Frank Martin for the WBA lightweight champion. Tank will return to the ring for the first time in over a year to defend his title after beating Ryan Garcia in April 2023. Martin is a rightful challenger to face Davis. The Ghost ranked second only behind Tank and boasts an incredible record of 19-0. Now, Sheyi, I understand that, boxing can be very tricky sometimes, but Gervonta has been one hell of a hard hitter, and there's a way he does his thing. Everybody wants to root and, put money on him. Now, with this particular bout coming through, do you expect any less from him?
I really don't expect any less from him, but he should have to be careful because I know right square or that he has big shots. Yeah. But Martins is stronger, and when it comes to everybody knows that he's going to be he's not going to fight well. Yeah. Then he might just surprise anybody at any time. I
feel now Aditro, very quickly. Now Gervonta has been quite, I would say, impressive. Everybody talks about him, but Frank Martin said something at the press conference. Says, "We will see what happens in the ring. I will show you the stuff I'm made of." And he said something. He said, "It appears everybody is giving it to Tank, and nobody is giving him a chance." Are we about to see another upset into tonight's encounter?
Let me be frank. I feel, I understand what happens in the heavyweight. The heavyweight comes with the big names, and there's a lot of glamour. But the lighter weight comes with the stories. Yes. This is where you can literally write a movie script about this guy. Gervonta is one of those boxers whose life out of the boxing ring has been,
topsy-turvy.
Exactly.
Topsy-turvy. Yeah, I'll put it that way. This is a
guy in the last 3 or 4 months or so. He hasn't been in the rings at all. In fact, he was in prison because of detention issues and all of that. And having to bounce back, and not just bouncing back, becoming the favorite going into this bout. To me, this shows a mental toughness, and I'll be excited. I can't wait to see how this pan out. And listen, I'm not going to predict. And the reason why I won't predict is I made the same mistake when Tyson Fury, I know I'm bringing that in. Tyson Fury, and what's his name now? The guy who Tyson Fury. Usyk, when they had their bout, I'm one of those who felt, because of the English media, I know I'm pulling their legs again, because of the whole drama around, they painted the picture of Tyson Fury like a superhero, like the Goliath in the picture. And not knowing that Usyk is actually technically better than this guy. And all of a sudden, we just saw a different bout entirely. So I don't want to go into the prediction. I will just sit on the fence and say, listen, whenever the pendulum will swing, this is an exciting fight anybody should watch.
Well, exciting fight, I understand. But now, Devin Haney also, after having lost Ryan Garcia, everybody seems to write him off. I don't know why it's looking that way. I mean, they should cut Devin Haney a slack because it appears that Ryan Garcia actually used performance-enhancing substance, and that's an excuse they're trying to ride on. Do you think in any way David Haney might be able to find his feet back again?
Let's be honest. I really don't know how this is, but listen, American boxers have a way, Ryan Garcia, they have a way of pulling up shows. This is a 25-year-old guy. I really don't know if he could pull this off, but I would say what I've seen in his trajectory looks like it might probably swing in his favor.
He might swing in his favor. All right, then, well, we have to move on straight up to the Euros. Now, the rise of the German machines under Nagelsmann, an incredible display indeed, as Steve Clark's team were dismantled by cleverness and intelligence of Germany's football in Munich. An incredible array of stars.
Exactly. So I see France doing very well, except maybe it becomes... But not to forget, Croatia is another tricky team. Yeah,
tricky team with the likes of the OGs right there.
Exactly.
And, of course, Luka Modric is not ready to even hang his boots yet. Now, Daniel, very quickly, let's be very frank. Let's take a look at some of the other fixtures that might be coming up. So before we swing on to the rest. Now, with what you saw yesterday, with the display with Germany you saw yesterday, what do you hope to expect? Now, let's take a look at the Saturday fixtures. Hungary, Switzerland, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. This looks like it's quite tricky, like you said. I'm looking at the Spain-Croatia might be a very tricky one, but do you think Spain can edge this?
Let's be honest, the Croatian team is a bunch of old groups, like, let me put it that way. Brozovic, Luka Modric, Kovacic, Perisic, all the seeds you could think of. And then you have a Spanish team who are playing a scintillating football.
Yeah.
A combination of hold legs and some young beats like Pedri and the likes. And we saw what they did in the few friendlies they played before, you know, the tournament kickstarts proper. So, if I'll put it this way, when I weigh my pendulum on who is likely going to win the competition between these two lights, not necessarily about this game, I will go for the Spanish team.
Okay.
I'll go for the Spanish team. That tells you what might likely happen.
Is it the young stars they boast of, or the cohesiveness you think they have? That is what you think might give them the edge?
There's this adage that says, when you do something the same way over time, it will get to a point people will say, we've seen this one before. We saw it yesterday. We saw it before yesterday. That's the current state of the Croatian team.
All right.
And I'm not being condescending. I'm just being realistic because let's be honest, we've seen what Modric can do. We know what Perisic can do. We know what what's his name can do, Kovacic and the like. So these are guys we've seen at the World Cup, we've seen at the last Euros. We know their technicalities and all of that. We know how the team plays literally.
Well, let's hope they can pull up the Sunday fixtures for us, so maybe we can have
but the Spanish
brief on that
team,
as well.
You really can't tell how they will turn up.
All right,
we know they do the tiki-taka style and all of that.
Now the big one on Sunday: England, Serbia, Poland, Netherlands, Slovenia, Denmark. I think I really want to watch that Poland-Netherlands. Well, I don't think Poland might really stand a chance because Netherlands also are a very brutal team. They will go all out after having lost at the World Cup against Argentina. I saw what they did. They were quite impressive.
Yeah,
they were quite impressive. Yeah, they were just not lucky. Yeah, and of course England. England for me right now, I think all eyes on England.
Exactly.
Southgate and the players. And I hear that Trent Alexander-Arnold might be, you know, utilizing the midfield alongside Declan Rice. Well, I was not surprised Jack Grealish was dropped. So, do you think England stands a chance in this Euro?
Yes, I see them doing well in Euros. Maybe a quarter-final thereabouts.
Is he coming home?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
So let me put it to you now. Do you think if England doesn't do or go as far as picking up the trophy, Southgate should be fired?
No, he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be fired still?
No, he shouldn't be fired still because...
Come on, man. Ditoro. This guy has bunch of talents, but yet he's not delivering. And you still want him to keep the job.
You see, I would throw towards that direction. And the reason why I would do that is because Southgate has said before this tournament started, he said, listen, if we don't win it now, we can't win it again. That means he's already telling you this is my last chance. And I know it. But the truth is, let's be honest, this English team is star-studded, but this is not the first time in history. In 2010, they were star-studded. They had Lampard, they had the Scholes, they had all the names you could think of. They had Gerrard, and everybody was like, who else wants to win?
Exactly.
Apart from me? So it has always been like that, and I won't be surprised it is like that again this time. But now the problem with this English team is there's no defense. No defense. You can't win a tournament like this when you don't have a formidable defense. Harry Maguire, who looks like his runaway guy, is not even in the competition. Yeah. You can't tell me you will pair Luis Dunk and John Stones in a two-man defense against Spain, against Germany that we saw yesterday. But let's remember the Scottish
But let's be realistic. When you look at Championship, Premiership, you have League One, you have League Two. Are you telling me in the whole of England you couldn't get the best defenders to represent the team?
The truth of the matter is still the same. It's still the same. We still fall back to the same thing. The media. Okay. The media detects how the first 11 looks like. It's not necessarily about the technicalities of the game. You just score 2 goals like Opama, score 2 goals like Ollie Watkins. You will be in the team at the end of the day.
All right, let's see the last story of the day. Now, story following Super Eagles' disappointing performances in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, reports claiming a desire for a foreign coach might be in the works. Finidi's tenure saw the Super Eagles suffer a surprising 2-1 defeat to Benin Republic in Abidjan, following a 1-1 draw against South Africa at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. The defeat leaves the Super Eagles of Nigeria winless after 4 matches, sitting in 5th place in Group C with just 3 points and putting Nigeria's chances of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in serious jeopardy. Should Finidi just be fired?
See, the thing is, I don't know what's up with these our coaches. Like, anytime they bring a Nigerian coach or an African coach, the thing changes entirely. Yeah. And the thing is
it about desire of the
I just noticed that even looking at 2 matches they played, I just noticed that there's no discipline in that team. That's what I noticed.
It was flat.
Yes, because the first 20 minutes of the game, Finidi George was there. But it seems that after those 20 minutes, the players were doing what they wanted. And Nigeria doesn't need that. We cannot come every time and we start this mathematical calculation.
Yes, of
because
course.
Now they have to win their all 6 games. Their next game is in Kigali.
True.
How are we sure they're going to come out with a win?
That's going to be really tough.
NFF are working on something that they are thinking of bringing a coach that will work together with Finidi.
Aditoro, very quickly, I understand that you are quite passionate about Nigerian football too, but from what you saw, is it about the boys not respecting the coach enough to want to play for him? And why are they putting the country in a state of quandary, knowing fully well that we really need this ticket to the World Cup? Can't they just put their biases aside and play the game? Then maybe after the tournament or the qualifiers, they can now decide to clamor for a better coach to take them to the World Cup. I mean,
if the boys are not respecting the coach enough, then the body in question, that's the NFF, should be called to question.
Okay.
Because they must have seen how this guy related with the players before eventually making him the manager, because he has been around the camp for a long time. He was around the camp in the days of what's his name, Genotro. He was there in the days of the last manager who just left, Jose Pizarro. So they know his personality as a person, and they know his pedigree among this crop of players. But let's be honest. Are you saying there's any team apart from the Senegalese team right now who's better than the Nigerian team in the African continent?
Absolutely not.
Let's look at the players. Victor Osimhen is the best player in the African continent as it stands. We saw what Ademola Lookman did against Leverkusen at the just concluded Europa League. Chukwu is yes, he might not have had a brilliant season, but let's be honest, we know his capabilities. In the midfield, indeed, he had a stellar season with Leicester City.
Well, because of
we can go on and on.
Yeah, no, so time is of essence.
We have
now. Let's put it practical. Just give me one straight word. Should Finidi just be fired?
He should be fired.
He should be fired.
He should be fired.
You said he should stay.
He should still stay.
He should still stay.
Yeah.
You are not a Nigerian fan.
No, I'm not a Nigerian fan. He still needs more coaching.
He needs more coaching. When we are on the verge of being thrown out of the qualifiers.
Okay, why did they fire Pizarro?
We are already
out. We should just prepare for 2030.
All right, I think that's about it this morning. It's been quite interesting. We know how it is when it comes to sports. Time is never enough, but it's all good as we keep it going. Not to worry. I'll leave it to my folks to take it home from here. Stay tuned.